All right, welcome everybody to an expert interview Monday. My name is Dave Cooper, davecooper.live, and we have a show for you today. If you missed it, now's your chance to catch a little bit of it. Last week, Jerry Rouleau Awards, NAHB Building Systems Council was on March 4th, and we are now going to have some of those people on the show today, not only because they deserve some recognition, but the people we're going to have on the show today are also going above and beyond, not only in our industry, but they're doing it personally as well. They are giving back to the community. This is what I love about this live show is we are always featuring people that are doing it better. And today is no different. So at Dave Cooper Live, we are bringing you the people and the processes that are building it better. Our guests include topics from building systems to building science, building codes, and the tech used to build it better. And today is no different. We are seeking out the best and the brightest in the construction industries and discovering all the ways that innovative buildings are coming to life. So without further ado, why don't we jump into it? And why don't we go straight to the top? And why don't we bring in the executive director, Devin Perry, to the show, the man, the myth, the legend. What's happening, Devin?
Hey, Dave, I appreciate that intro. How are you?
Good, man. I love every time you get to join us, man. I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Happy to be here on a Monday, talking to you about the Building Systems Council's Jerry Rouleau Awards for excellence in marketing and home design, and also our specialty awards. And I know you've been a little bit humble this morning, but I want to let the audience know that Dave Cooper from Dave Cooper Live, we're all looking at, was our BSC Associate Member of the Year for all he's done for the Building Systems Councils and the entire industry in 2020. So, Dave, if you haven't heard from anybody else, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And completely unexpected. You know, it's funny. They always say when you do it, you love, and you do something that you're passionate about, good things come out of it. I wasn't expecting it. But what I will say, Devin, is what I am expecting is to keep working with the National Association of Home Builders, Building System Council, all the members, to keep growing our industry of building systems and learning on teaching ways that we can build better, we can do it better, showcasing such as the people we have coming on in a few moments, how they are doing it better. Because as an industry, I think there's only one way to go. And like I even said during the award ceremony, I'm tired of being in last place as an industry. We need to be in first place, right? I mean, come on, it's building. We should be in first place, not last place when it comes to innovation and technology. So that's the goal, right?
Yeah, definitely. We're pushing that boulder. I hate to say uphill a little bit, but I'd say in recent times and things are getting better, and it certainly feels like we've got momentum behind this, which is terrific. And that's really a testament to our award winners like yourself. I know we're going to have Matt Belcher from Enhanced Building Systems, our Builder of the Year. Jim Banner from the PFB Custom Homes Group, and Jim and the PFB Group is such a great example of different aspects of the industry coming together, because they do traditional log homes, they do beautiful timber frame homes, and they also use SIPs, structural insulated panels. In addition to those two, I know Brian Seeler from Taylor Grove Engineering is waiting in the green room, the virtual green room as well. So these are all folks that throughout 2020 went above and beyond, including yourself, for the building system industry. So it's great to take this time this afternoon and highlight each and every one of them.
Yeah, no, completely agree. But I think first, yourself, let's talk a little bit about you, Devin. Why don't you tell everybody just a little bit about yourself, what your new role is? From the last time I had you on, you keep growing in the industry, but you also keep growing Building Systems Council and the members. So why don't you take a few moments, let everybody know what you're about and how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, Dave, no, that's exactly right. My name's Devin Perry, like I've been introduced, and I am the National Association of Home Builders Executive Director for Business Improvement Programs. In terms of my area of responsibilities, first and foremost, it is the Building Systems Councils, and that is NAHB's home for individuals that manufacture, build, or supply the modular, panelized, concrete, log, or timber frame home industry. And I originally integrated into NAHB about 5 years ago working in a different role with the Building Systems Council, and I was promoted to direct the BSC, and now my new role as well. I still oversee the council, which is fantastic. In terms of other areas of responsibility at NAHB, our 20 Clubs program, which is just a fantastic peer-to-peer, member-to-member kind of builder accountability program where we'll have builders throughout the country gather in a centralized location, groups no more than 20, hence 20 Clubs, and really have frank business discussions with each other to the extent where they actually open up their books, discuss best practices, and again, they'll get together twice a year, and they'll also interact virtually with a message board system we have just for them throughout the year. So that's another great opportunity to engage with NAHB. In addition to those two areas of oversight, I also oversee a couple of different committees, including custom and single-family home builders and our business management information technology committees as well. So that's me and what I do at the National Association of Home Builders.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, good. Enough about you, Devin. Let's get into our guest now. No, just kidding. You're doing amazing things, Devin. There's a reason so many people speak so highly of you and really appreciate everything you do. I being one of those people, it's a lot of hard work, and you wear many hats. So much and many thanks to you for sure. All right, Building Systems Council Chairman. Why don't we bring the new chairman in for our conversation, Brian Seeloff, also the CEO at Tamarack Grove, and he's also the person you want to call should this world start flooding, and we'll get into that in a minute.
You're exactly right.
What's happening, Mr. Brian?
How are you? Dave, Devin, thank you so much for having me as a guest on today's show. I'm excited to be here and be part of this. And congratulations to you, Dave, for Associate of the Year. That's exciting for you.
Thank you.
Devin, I want to thank you for all you're doing. You make this chairman role about as easy as possible. So thank you for all your hard work and efforts and to bring this all together. So thank you guys for being here.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, thank you.
Dave, you don't mind me interjecting. Brian shouldn't be too humble because I believe he was the reigning Associate of the Year. You knocked him off the perch this past year. So yeah, you've got two Building Systems Council's Associate Members of the Year right here, which is just amazing.
Awesome.
If we were in person,
we need a PSC belt.
That's right. If we were in person, I'd be putting on your green jacket right now.
I love it. I love it. Well, and if we were actually had you in a green room, I would have green M&Ms for you. So, right. Well, listen. So, Brian, a little bit about Tamarack Grove Engineering. You guys have been part of the Building Systems Council for quite a few years now. I remember our first interview. I think it was back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. At one of the live events is where we met. And what I've learned since then is how you guys really kind of started growing. And that's because you had the privilege of building Noah's Ark and being part of, I shouldn't say building, but being part of the engineering of Noah's Ark. Is that accurate?
That is correct. It's actually the Ark Encounter located in Williamstown, Kentucky. So that was a fun little project we got involved with back in 2013-14. So that kind of kickstarted Tamarack Grove into where we're at today. So
yeah,
total privilege to work on a project like that. But yeah, it was fun.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, let's jump into this, Brian. We want to know a little bit more about you. So we want to know everything about you from the moment you were born to this very moment in time. Don't leave out any of the good stuff from the hospital. And we will call your mother if you don't give us all of the dirt. But you only have 2 minutes to do it because we got two other guests waiting in the wings to come in. So go for it.
All right. No pressure. No, I appreciate the opportunity. So I'm Brian Seeloff. I am the CEO, managing member of Tamarack Grove Engineering. We are a full-fledged structural engineering firm located in Boise, Idaho. We have one office, but our playground really is North America. We're privileged to work with all different types of clients across the country and really across the world for that matter as we keep expanding. But it's fun. We get to do a lot in the Building Systems Council as well with the different topics that make up the industry within this council. But we are an office of about 30. We do all kinds of things from commercial to residential to manufacturing to facilities. So I'm very humbled to be here and be this year's chairman for the Building Systems Council. But yeah, it's exciting. We get to do all kinds of things. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, it is exciting. You're not just the chairman. I mean, there's work that goes behind this, and it's volunteer work. you work with a lot of building systems councils members across the country. So you're not just, just another engineering firm. I mean, you're actually putting in the good work and understand building systems and understand what it takes to have a successful project. And I think that goes a long way, and people should know that.
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, this day and age, we're faced with just labor shortages to just energy requirements. I mean, the Building Systems Council, for what it stands for, with just the concrete industry, modular, panelized, log and timber, it's on fire right now. And honestly, I'm excited. I mean, when I got into this industry, or just the Building Systems Council, if you will, like maybe 5-6 years ago, I wouldn't say we were the redheaded stepchild, but I mean, it was just kind of like a different story back then. But to see what Devin's done a lot of this over the years with his part of just promoting the industry, but just all the people that make up our board of trustees, but just the whole association as a whole. It's been very exciting for me to just see it grow in terms of where it's come from the last 5 to 6 years. So it's on fire. I mean, I talk to different people throughout our industry at the events that we're at, and there's just true excitement out there. So it's really, really exciting to be part of this.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Devin, I mean, listen, I mean, to have Brian as the chairman, just what I think is so great about you being the chairman is just your bandwidth of knowledge of all the different building systems, right? Because I know you work with the log people, you work with the modular volumetric, the SIPS pan, you're working with all of them. So you have a pretty broad understanding of what it takes for all of the different building systems, concrete, to actually work efficiently. And I think that's where you bring a lot of value in with you and your team. And I also think to helping to grow the Building Systems Council for sure.
It's exciting. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm excited to work alongside Devin and to see what we can do this year with the subcommittees. And we all came out of 2020, obviously, but 2021 is going to explode. So I'm excited for it.
It is going to explode. And I want everybody to know, I don't get paid by Devin or Brian or anybody. That's truly coming from the heart. Because I'm involved and I'm spending my time working with all of them, so I think it's well said. All right, Brian. So let's bring on our next guest, right? And I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to bring on Jim Banner next. Why don't Brian, you do a little bit of an introduction, and Devin, you follow up on the introduction, and then we're going to pop Jim Banner in, because Jim is bigger than life, and literally he's really big.
He is. I'll start out first, Devin. I just had the privilege of actually going to lunch last week with Jim, and correct me if I get this wrong, Jim, but a Pennsylvania guy went to California, and he's been here in Idaho for, I want to say, the last close to 15 plus years. So to see what he's done with just the whole precision craft and PFB with all three elements to make up that, it's been pretty exciting to see his leadership actually play out through the years. So I'm excited to have him there on the call.
Awesome.
Yeah, and piggybacking on that, Brian, you think about PFB, the Custom Home Group, like I was saying earlier, interacting with different parts of the systems built industry. And because of that and their fabulous work, I mean, not only are they manufacturer of the year, they took home more BSC Jerry Rouleau awards than any company this year. And I love all of our members, and I love all the award submissions we get, but just the reputation they have when I open up, their file for the first time to see what they've submitted for any given year, it's always a treat. Because the homes are just fabulous.
Yeah, they're beyond fabulous. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous. Every time we watch the awards, I mean, some of these homes are it's just magnificent. I mean, the scope, the log and timber, frame, you just can't beat the look and feel of these things. So they're amazing. So, all right, why don't we bring Jim on and let's say hello. Come on in, Jim. What's happening, Mr. Banner?
Wow, I think we should have one of these every day with that kind of accolade. Thank you both. Thank all of you, Dave, Brian, Devin. And really thanks to the NAHB for this award. It's not about me. It's about the great people that work at PFB Custom Homes Group, Insulspan, PFB Corporation itself. It's been a tremendous ride for us. With the support of people like yourselves throughout the business. We've been very fortunate to be able to take this business in a great direction over the past it's almost 18 years I've been here, by the way. It really has been a great ride. Starting off with the background in milled logs, and then moving to timber frame, and then the SIPs thereafter, and it really is. We've been deliberate about taking this business in this direction, it's as time has marched on, and energy efficiency becomes a bigger and bigger part of what we all do. We've embraced that. And so we really look at ourselves as a company that provides energy efficient housing that happens to also be quite beautiful in the log and timber genre. So really thank you all for the kind words, but this is honestly on behalf of all the great people that work here.
I love it. So Jim, I ask everybody, and I know you kind of covered it a little bit. Give us your elevator pitch, just so everybody understands the magnitude of what you do, because you're doing log, you're doing SIPs, you're mixing the two, SIPs and timber framing. It's just not one system. You guys are manufacturing and doing a bunch of systems. So why don't you take a moment and let everybody know who you are and what you do from that aspect overall, and then we'll get all the employees.
Sure. Well, this business, we have built it to integrate really architectural design with manufacturing of structural shell components. That's the logs, the timbers, the SIP panels, insulated concrete forms, which we also manufacture, and downstream integrated with construction services. From installation right up to full general contracting, and that's been our strategy. The fact that we have such great clients is really why we do the houses we do. But at our heart, we're about structural building shells and putting those together in the very best way that they can be designed, engineered by guys like Brian's firm, and constructed, whether it's builders like Matt Belcher or we do it ourselves. It really is that integration of all of those elements that let us build the houses that we do. Yeah.
They are beautiful, even before the show, just trying to refresh my memory. I talk to so many people all the time looking at it. And there was Jennifer. Hey, we should have them build our home. Look at this. I'm like, well, I'm a builder. I build houses.
Yeah, don't look at Jim's homes with your significant other. It's going to cost you money.
Yeah, for sure.
Good money, though, Devin. Good money.
Yeah, for sure. So Jim, tell us a little bit about how many employees across the different manufacturing facilities. Do you know offhand?
Oh, we've got manufacturing facilities in our main office here in Boise for the Homes Group. We've got manufacturing facilities for panels and timbers in Michigan, also Vancouver, British Columbia, and through our PFB parent and our sister company Plastifab that manufactures the insulated concrete forms. There are about 100 to 150 employees, depending upon season. Doing all this work.
Yeah. It's important to talk about it, Brian, with your 30 plus, and obviously Jim, and then we're going to have the one and only Matt Belcher on in a moment as well, and all the great things that they are doing. So I think it's really, really important to talk about how many people you employ. These are jobs that people have, careers, and also at the end of this show, we want to talk a little bit about the job labor force, right? How are you seeing it? Where do we got to go? It'd be interesting to have your insights on how do we get younger people into this industry, and what do we need to do that. But before we do that, we can't let Matt Belcher just sit out in the wind anymore. We got to bring him in. I left him for last because he'll just take over the whole show. I know him well. All right, Devin, go ahead. Give us the intro for Mr. Matt Belcher, please.
Yeah, Matt Belcher of Enhanced Building Systems, and really just a super volunteer when it comes to NAHB, whether it be on the construction codes and standards side or what he's done with the building systems councils over the years. He chaired our joint subcommittee last year that really kind of oversees a bunch of areas of communications, events, membership. So that was fantastic. And also Matt brought along an opportunity for the building systems councils and NAHB to work with the University of Missouri Science and Technology as well. So for those and many other reasons, Matt Belcher is the first two-time winner of the BSC Builder of the Year Award.
2 times.
2 times.
I'm addicted. I'm addicted.
All right,
Hi, everybody.
Hey, welcome, Matt. Good to see you. You know,
Awesome to be here.
yeah. You know, I no offense to anybody, but Matt, you know, you're one of my favorite people in the world for several reasons. One,
You gotta get a bigger Rolodex, buddy.
you know, you can count them all on one hand sometimes. But honestly, when I came into the Building Systems Council and we were sitting at a meeting, you and I started talking about veterans, and that was one of the things that really got my heart because I'm a vet and I appreciate everything you do, and we're going to get into that. But first, I mean, come on, do you have a wall big enough for all of your awards? You must be sitting somewhere else because that wall next to you there is not big enough for all the awards you have.
I'm in my temporary side office here because the internet signal's better, first of all, and yeah, I've got an office. I've got an I Love Me wall with some stuff on it, but you know, it's not about awards, and this is just a complete flattering surprise, and you know, all the gang, if you will, all my buddies with Building Systems Council. I can't appreciate everybody more. You know, it's been a tough year for us all, and we had personally a tough year, and you know, getting this is so uplifting, and words cannot explain how much it's appreciated and what a great thing it is for us. So I'll stop there before I start crying because that's ugly.
Hey, listen, that's okay. We can do some tears. So, all right, Matt, I want everybody to know everything about you right now, but we have limited time, so I know
Go
that
to FBI.gov.
most wanted list. I love it. Well, listen, Matt, not to tout your horn just yet, but here's what I want to do. We want to know everything about you. We want to know everything that you are doing within your companies as well. Not only about the awards in the building, but give everybody an overview of who you are, what you do, and then we're going to give it into how you're giving back as well.
No, good. Well, I appreciate that. You know, I've been a builder my entire life. I grew up in the business. My dad worked for a building materials and products company, lumber company, and I just grew up in the business. I learned to build really with him. He was building on homes as an investment, and but they were building wall panels, roof trusses on. And this is back. I'm dating myself, back in the '60s, and I just grew up knowing that's how you built, and so you know, it was a natural thing for me. And as the opportunities arose, I worked in the nuclear power plant construction industry right out of school, and a lot of systems being used in the industry, of course, and worked as a code official for a number of years. That's where I got my real codes background, and have since stayed in that realm. So you know, it all pulls together, but at the end of the day, just like the gentleman on here and you too, Dave, it's all about relationships. You know, everything else just kind of happens, but the relationships are what is the best part about all of this, the entire industry. You know, my best friends are also my competition locally. It's co-opetition, I think they call it in NASCAR, but yeah, that's really what it's about. So you know, that's how we all get to know each other and solve each other's problems, hopefully. And it's just, you know, it's a true blessing to be involved with it.
Yeah, no, it's a true blessing to have you involved in it, and I agree with you. I think the collaboration, the cooperation, and everybody that's on this call together, you know, these are all people. You guys are all people that are trying to do better and trying to work with each other, whether you're competitors or not. when we're in offsite construction and we're only anywhere between 3 and 5% of the entire industry, nobody has the secret sauce. I don't care who you are. If you did, we'd be 95% of the industry, and we are not that. So the idea that you guys would all, collaborate and we all work together, that's how we're going to grow, and that's how we're going to get better.
Yeah, you raise the water level, all our boats come up with it, and I'm fortunate to be involved with this because I always surround myself with people smarter than me. That's how I get better, and so it's just been a great opportunity, and it's always a great thing that happens when we all get together, whether it's on Zoom or whatever vehicle gets us there. Hopefully in person soon. Yep. And it's just you walk away much better than when you showed up.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Matt, we're gonna harp on you just one more time. Tell everybody a little bit about what you're doing with the veterans. We met at Operation Finally Home. You're also doing is it Operation Triage? I think
Operation Triage.
Let's talk about the vets for a moment, and then we're going to get into some real talk here.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, first of all, to tout this because this is our real passion. We work with Operation Finally Home, building homes, mortgage-free homes for veterans and first responders. And a dear friend of mine and a friend of the Building Systems Council, Dan Vargas, down in New Braunfels, Texas, and we spun off Operation Triage to be a little bit more nimble, to solve some smaller issues that were outside the scope of Operation Finally Home. A lot of the things we do are, and there's obviously a big need, modifying homes where we have a lot of Vietnam era veterans and of course Gulf War and Afghanistan veterans, where we'll go and do home modifications, wheelchair accessibility, just a lot of needs. We also work with first responders too, police and fire. One of the things that we really try to concentrate on is solving issues for PTSD. I hate the term disability, first of all, because it's just different abilities, not disabilities that people have. So we just try to accommodate. We build rooms. We'll use prefabricated lightweight panels and go into existing homes and put together quiet rooms. So when veterans or first responders have issues, they just have a place where they can get a little sanctity from everything and just kind of decompress for a minute or two and not have to take it out or experience with the family and things like that. It's just a quiet, cool spot that they can take a break, if you will. And so it's a real treat, and it's one of the big things, if I may, that we deal with not only veterans but the first responder community too, with police and firefighters, because they see things that none of us want to see, and it affects them and their families. So with veterans, we've lost since 9/11, we've lost a little more than 7,000 service people in the wars, the Gulf Wars and in Afghanistan. But in the same time period, we've lost more than 140,000 due to really the PTSD, the 22 a day, and the numbers. I don't even have the data, but they're high numbers with percentage-wise with first responders also. So those are the types of things that we try to mitigate if we can. So. I appreciate opportunity. OperationTriage.com is our .org is our website. So please come see us.
Yeah, definitely get involved. That's what we say, right? How do you get involved? Get involved. In fact, it was Craig Morgan when I asked him, well, how do people get involved? He just looked at me and goes, get involved. And it's that simple. So,
that easy.
Go to the website, get involved.
And it's just we do it because there's a need for it, obviously, but the pure joy you get, it's almost a guilty feeling when you help people. That's just the pure joy you get out of doing that is everything. It's everything that's donated goes straight to the excess. There's none of us take a dime for any of it. It's just an opportunity to help, which is great.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Well, on behalf of everybody, thank you for everything you do for the veterans.
Thank them. Yeah, thank them.
All right, let's hop into this a little bit. Brian, Jim, Matt, and Devin, So listen, you guys, you have a lot of team members that you work together with day in and day out at your offices, at your manufacturing facilities. Right now, we're having a workforce issue with skilled labor. Tell us a little bit about your insights. When you have as many employees, or you're always recruiting team members like you guys are doing, talk to us about your biggest challenges and how do you overcome those challenges when you are trying to bring in new, fresh, young minds. And Jim, why don't you go first?
Sure. Well, you're right, Dave. It's a big problem and an ongoing problem, and we think it's a permanent problem. We look at scarcity as just something we're going to have to live with for the long term. So how do you overcome that? You got to constantly be recruiting. You got to look for the best athlete, and maybe in a lot of cases throw away the rule book as far as a particular job description. That's one of the things we've found. Another thing that's huge is we've got to match people with our culture and use the culture we've built here over the years, a culture of winning, a culture of achievement, a culture of success, a culture of participation for our people. We look for people who really want that. And that's somebody that wants more than a job. And it's great for us because we can give people a career opportunity. And recruiting's only half the problem. Retaining people is the bigger issue at any time. And so that's really what we focus on.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, you're in an industry where you're in the log and timber space, and it really does take true craftsmanship, and it takes some skilled labor to bring all that together and make it happen. Are you seeing more automation within your manufacturing facilities with what you're doing inside the manufacturing that would bring younger people in?
Oh, sure. The factories are automated to the greatest extent that the economics permit, of course, and but that's something that we've built into our business formula, if you will, and it helps, no doubt. But we'll do handcrafted log homes too, right. And there's not a whole lot of automation that you can bring to that particular set. So again, there aren't that many people out there, Dave, that bring these skills anymore, these particular skills. So we've found that it's more important to get somebody who wants to win, who wants to be part of the team, who's interested in the culture, and who wants to learn, and then we teach them. And that's ultimately the most sustainable sort of human resource approach that we've found to take.
Yeah, you know what, you said it exactly the way I see it as well. It's about the culture, and people buy into your culture because you have a great culture. That's what retains people for a long time. That's why people stay places, because it's not always about the amount of money they're making. It's about what the culture is and how they're treated and what the vision of the company is. So I think especially in your industry where it really is a lot of hands-on skilled labor that's needed, that's how you win, by having the best culture out of all your competitors, right?
You bet. And it matters when you look at the tenure of your people. Our people are tenured. Our leadership group has on average 13 or 14 years experience with our company. And a lot of these people started out right out of school, whether it was high school or college, with our business, and they've evolved into tremendous leaders. I think one of the secrets of our success is we don't necessarily look at ourselves solely as a log or timber company. We look at ourselves as a company that does all of the things I mentioned: design, manufacturing, construction. And you've got to be good in all of those things. And you've got to wrap all of those things into one package that is sellable, that your clients want. And so, the old saying, culture eats strategy for breakfast really is true. And so that's really where the best companies, not just ours, all of the best companies in this business, it's why they succeed.
That's right. I would agree with that wholeheartedly. And I know just seeing some of your homes, I mean, you got a very discerning customer too that, expects the high quality as well. So that would be my wife probably in the future here. So after I get my HGTV show. Anyhow, enough of that. All right. So why don't we say hi to a few people, and then Brian, we're going to come to you. I want to hear this. I want to talk to you about the same question because you're in a little bit of a different role than Jim is. You're using the latest and greatest in design and technology software, and it'll be interesting to hear where you think this is all headed. So, but first, why don't we say hi? We got YouTube in the house. Spotlight Documentary Film Awards 2019. Nicole Emilio Casper. Good afternoon. Hey, well, thank you for joining us today, Emilio. Glad to have you. Oh, look at that, Joe Ciamatero. Congrats, Dave. Well earned. Love it. So we had Joe on the show not too long ago. They have a facility in Central Florida, and they do a lot of commercial elevator shafts and what have you. Randall. So love it, Joe. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, past chair. Congratulations to all award winners. What's happening, Tiffany? Hey, I love it. I'm glad Tiffany's saying hi to us today. Great person. She timed out. She has given so much of her time that she timed out. Is that correct, Devin?
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah, for not to get into the weeds of NAHB, but you can volunteer on a single committee for 6 consecutive years. Tiffany did that, elevating herself to the role of chair, and has timed out. It's taken a little bit of brief pause on the bench, and looking forward to getting her back in when we roll around in 2022.
I love it. Well, she's a good bench warmer then for sure. I'm sure she's chomping at the bit to get back into the game. I know she has a lot to give. Oh, Mr. Cowboy Hat's in the house. What's happening, Todd? Listen, I may be coming out your way. I'm looking forward to taking an hour ride to Home Depot and then another hour and a half to Lowe's because they didn't have what we needed at Home Depot. We're going to do that. We're going to take a 6-pack, I hope. All right, from their bar. Hey, Tom, good to best banker out there in my opinion, with the coolest hat as well. All right, moving on. Hey, Joe said, Jim Banner, what an acceptance speech. Well said.
Well, thank you, Joe. And as I said, it's easy to do when you get the people that I work with behind me and with me.
Yeah, for sure. I love it. Thanks, Joe, for comment. Craig Campbell says, hey, all. What's happening, Craig? Thank you for tuning in today. We love it. What do we have? Jennifer put up here lots of amazing winners of the Jerry Rouleau Awards this year, including Integra. Okay, Signature Building. Right, so that's very true. So this isn't everybody. This is only a few people out of everybody. So there's a whole group of people doing a lot of great things that were awarded this year. And thank you for putting that up there, Jennifer. I'll get myself in trouble sometimes. I get excited. It's funny. Like you can bring a rock star on, right? You could bring Craig Morgan on stage, and I just don't get rock star flabbergasted. You bring people in the industry on stage, and all of a sudden I can't remember a damn thing. I'm like, love it. You guys are awesome. All right, Brian, let's hop back into this here a little bit. Yeah. So, Brian, you are bringing in younger people, I'm assuming, into the industry, young structural engineers, civil engineers, and what have you. Tell us a little bit about how that's going for you. How do you see the future going, and what are you doing with your culture to bring younger people into the industry?
I appreciate that. I mean, both Jim and Matt hit it both. It is a challenge. I mean, we're in challenging times for just a workforce, just even people coming out of school with a degree in civil engineering. As Jim said, it's not only recruiting, but it's retention. And really the third R is relationships, as Matt said. Our tagline as a company is relationship driven. I challenge everyone, whether I'm interviewing them or just even in our staff meetings here, of like what makes us different. Here in Boise, there's 20 firms that can do the same thing in terms of producing the final set of documents. Numerous firms across the country, but like what makes us different? And it is that journey, it's that challenge, it's just the experience of working with clients throughout the country, but it's your culture. And at the end of the day, if you don't have that, you're struggling. People will come and go. And we're constantly looking at how we can change things and be better as a company. Our staff, if they're not feeling valued and they want to be here day in and day out, then there's an issue with that. And so we are constantly just trying to get better at that. But it's just promoting. I mean, as we're all on social media these days, there's just so much out there of recruiting and what people are doing different out there. But it's a constant battle of just trying to mix it up and really promote who you are as a company. And for people out there that have never been in our front door and don't know about our culture, we have to kind of promote that and use social media, which is huge for us in this last year and a half of just promoting that. But it's something you've got to continually be doing. And once you do have the people in here from a recruiting standpoint, it is the retention. Because as people said earlier, people come and go and you're just constantly just filling the chair. That's tough. Our policy here is we hire the people, not the position. So we're looking for just always good people to come in and want to be part of our team of just with what we get to do with working across North America and all the different things that we're involved with. But it is a battle for sure, just even at our level.
Yeah, we got a lot to offer in this industry. I mean, this is I think where you're kind of really, hitting the nail on the head, right? The younger people are into technology. They're into cell phones. Their idea of swinging a hammer is playing a video game that hits something, right? It truly is. But at the same extent, we have to go where the younger people are. That's why we're on Twitch. I don't know if you guys know what Twitch is, but we're on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch right now because that's where the young people go, and that's where Greg Ugaldi joins us from now all the time is Twitch. Blows my mind every time. So, but the reality of it is, to garner the attention of the young people, we have to be embracing, what we're doing, the technology and the culture, just like other industries have been doing. And I always say it all the time. The difference from when I grew up is you were either a punk, a burnout, a geek, right? Or, the straight A walk the line student. But today they have something in common. It's these phones. They all play video games together. It doesn't matter which side of the street you come on. They're all connected and wired up. And I think that's a commonality of how do you mingle in there? And we talk about it Thursday all the time on Increasing Influence, guys, about, how valuable social media is because that's where they're at. And if we're going to get them, we have to be where they're at.
For sure. I mean, 2 years ago, we weren't doing social media. I hired someone fresh out of school that is a young individual that knows all about this stuff. And it has really just changed our approach on just promoting who we are, but just the outreach. I think that's the big thing is the outreach that you get with social media.
Yeah.
How far you can cast your net.
Well, it is. And this is where, and Jim and Matt and Devin knows as well, this is where people can learn your culture without you selling it to them. And that's what's fun about social media, especially if you're talking about it, you have the employees or your team members talking about it. It can be a really fun way to give you a leg up on everybody. And it's something that I love talking about because it's how I ended up doing what I'm doing. Outside of just showing up in front of all of you at one point with my camera at one of our shows, say, come on, let's interview, right? But it kind of really took off from there. So I love it. All right. Now's the opportunity. Brian, Jim, Matt, Devin. Devin, I'm going to let you close this out. But, what are some things that you guys are working on in your mind that you want to share that maybe people do not know? Is there anything out there? No more Noah's Arks, though. I mean, you can't really talk more. Quite honestly, you can't. So.
Well, we're excited to, we're always looking to not only stay updated, but, try to be out front, of course. And, our good fortune of knowing people in the industry and certainly within BSC and Brian and Jim have known a long time. And nothing excites me much more than Timber Frame, of course, Jim. So, but we're really moving to the next levels, doing a lot. We have been doing panelization and systems like that for years, usually combined systems, but we're taking a larger leap into volumetrics. My two good buddies and partners of mine have been working together for a number of years, working on this. And have a new board. We're growing and just had a new board meeting this past week with a lot of wonderful, just tremendous people. You talk about the culture, and you're just when you have the right people that you're associated with, it's exciting to do what we do. I mean, I love my job, my industry, but when you just want to visit with people as much as work with them, it goes a long way. So we're working on that and expanding that, and being well above code as we always have, and bringing the industry. Same way with recruiting, finding the young people out there and training them, not only for us, but to be good recruits for the rest of the industry. And that's some of the things we've all been working on together, of course, with Devin, and just trying to create that bigger pool for all of us.
Yeah.
It's I agree with you, Matt. The world is changing, and one of our big goals, and in fact one of our strategies, our reasons for being, a mission statement, if you will, is to take a leadership position in sustainable building. For us, it's not just about timber frame or log. It really is about sustainable, super energy efficient building. And we're doing things in addition to the business we have. Things like looking at ways to bring what we do well to lower price point buildings, to try to help people who are really interested in this sort of a building through our InsulSpan business, expanding that. It's critically important. It's not only good business, it's good for the world. And so those are some of the things that we're involved with.
I love it. I think with the energy efficiency side and growing, obviously that's what we talk about all the time, building above code, right? That's not to the minimum. There's ways to build above code and provide energy efficient, healthier homes for people to live in and breathe in. I don't know if it was last week, I think it was last Monday, we had NREL on in RMI, and they actually have a bunch of programs right now, and they were looking for partners. They were looking for projects to possibly do the research with and study. So if you guys are interested, I can make those introductions for you, because there's a lot of money out there right now on the government side for these programs and for researching this. How do you retrofit, Matt, like existing homes?
Yeah.
All of this is being looked at.
98% of all homes are 20 years old or older. So there's a tremendous opportunity out there.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a great point, Matt. In fact, we're participating again on our InsulSpan side with retrofit strategies. We're involved in a couple of experimental projects through some universities using products like nail-based panels and of course SIP panels to attack that existing construction space. Yeah.
Hey, listen, we have to. I mean, the existing space. It's amazing what I'm learning. We have a show Friday called Building Science BS Friday, and this is all we talk about is the health of existing homes and the not so healthy portion of existing homes that are out there, and the cause and effect it has on kids and allergies and migraines. I mean, it's almost mind-boggling when you really dive into the science of it. So the fact that, again, it doesn't even impress me. I mean, the fact that you guys are already looking at that is not a surprise. And that's super cool. And I think for anybody in this industry, manufacturing, Jim, like you guys with all your manufacturing facilities, and that is something that you have your eyes on and working towards all the time, that's 2 thumbs up for sure.
Well, and plug for systems too, with the workforce and in these situations, just like Jim's talking about, the systemic way of solving these problems, both with workforce and using better components in a more effective manner. That's where the systems really are the answer.
Yeah.
I think it has to be a constant situation of both education and adaptability.
Yeah.
I think those 2 things in all of our industries, that's what's going to just continue to take us farther.
I 100% agree. That's a T-shirt. We're gonna make a T-shirt on that one, Brian. We're gonna sell them in Atlanta at the summit this year. We're gonna have a T-shirt booth. Right down.
When we'll sell that T-shirt. T-shirt booth. Why not? Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
You had mentioned earlier, Dave, about building up above code. That sounds great when you guys say that, but when a structural engineer says that,
Well, yeah. It doesn't apply with the structural engineer side. That's not over engineering. Yeah, right. That is funny. That you're absolutely right. You know, in fact, I can think of many times I sat there like, "What are we building here?" Okay, foot and mouth by the structural engineer. Got it. Well, listen, guys. Can you believe it's already been 55 minutes almost? Time flies when you're having fun.
There you go.
Time flies when you're having fun. So, all right. Well, listen, Devin, why don't you tell us about how people get in touch with you one last time? What the goals are for you this upcoming 2021? Plug the summit. Plug whatever you want to plug, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, easiest way to find the Building Systems Council is nahb.org/YBSC. So we'd love to see you there. We have a ton of information about the Building Systems Council and systems built housing. And, you know, one thing we're really focusing on as a council in 2021 is content. We've been speaking with our like-minded associations, whether that be the Structural Insulated Panel Association, National Ready Mix Concrete Association, Structural Building Components Association. It's alphabet soup, but we're talking about with these groups bringing the resources they have for home builders to our website, so we can really be a hub for home builders that want to learn more about systems built construction. To that end, we're also finalizing a guide to systems built construction with the University of Denver. That'll be focused on home builders as well. And you know, all of this content's coming together. It will all culminate this September at the Building Systems Housing Summit, September 12th to the 14th in Atlanta, Georgia. So looking forward to releasing more information about the conference. But again, just really focused on content this year and being a hub for home builders that want to learn more about systems built and offsite. So that's us.
Love it. I love it. Hey, listen, I mean, with the select few that we just have on here today, I mean, there's so much more to give, and I think we should do this more regularly and talk about what we're having. And I think some panel discussions might be a lot of fun, right? So we should talk about adding that to this, some live discussions. Speaking of live, everyone, on the 22nd, we will have Greg Ugaldi, the immediate past chairman, on the show. We will have a member of the Building Systems Council on the show as well, Jerry McCahey from Integra on. We're going to have Henry Mickelberg all the way from France and some others, and we're going to talk about the mass adoption of offsite construction and why it is going to or is not going to take off. And we're going to hear that all the way from the top of the NAHB and what their thoughts are and have a real open discussion on it. It'll be the first one we've ever had. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and there's some big names, so I'm going to have to put some rules in place, or each one of those alone could just take over the show, and I'd be a nobody. So, and we wouldn't get very far. So I hope you guys can join us for that show as well. That's going to be an awesome show.
Definitely.
So, all right, everybody. Listen, Devin, thank you again for all that you do at the NAHB and the Building Systems Council. We all really do appreciate you. Jim, Brian, Matt, you guys as well. Congratulations to all of you. Congratulations on being the chairman this year. Brian, I look forward to your leadership, and I look forward to working with you guys. So, hey, listen, I hope you have the best 2021 ever. I'm sure it's going to be. There's only one way to go, and that's up, guys, and we're gonna take it there.
Amen.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
All right, everybody. So that's a wrap. Join us tomorrow at 1 o'clock for Building Modular with Jennifer Cooper and I as we discuss the ins and outs of building modular, the volumetrics, the how-tos, the how-nots, and how to keep your butt out of trouble as you're building these things and do it the right way the first time and then make it a superior product. So we love it. You guys have a wonderful day. Thanks again. We will, I guess we'll see you real soon, right?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you.
Sooner the better.
Anyhow, I hope so. All right, guys. Thanks again. I'm Dave Cooper. We'll see you next time. Bye now.
Thanks.
Stay tight. Don't go anywhere you for. I'll come back to you.
All right.